Folks, welcome to So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Tuesday episode. How was your Monday, folks? Was it okay? I guess it was a holiday. I usually just keep my head down and didn't even realize it was a holiday until halfway through when we didn't get the mail today. And so I hope everybody got the holiday off. I don't know. It's about to rain here in Los Angeles, so I think that's good. We'll see. It's supposed to rain for a day. I always like the rain, but it's I like to play sad bastard music. It's the perfect day when it's raining to play August and Everything After by Counting Crows. Yeah, it's the perfect rainy day album. So maybe I'll bust that album out when it starts raining. I think it's supposed to start raining here around 10 o'clock. We'll see. So I hope you had a good Monday. We had a great pop culture roundup, really fun. I'm feeling better, thank God. We're just going to do a couple stories quickly, and then we have a great guest. We have Sarah Hare on, back from Us Weekly. We have a great conversation about all of pop culture. We talk about the Taylor Swift news. So many people were wrong. I was close to being right. She did announce that there is going to be an Eras Tour docuseries that's going to be premiering on Disney Plus, along with the Eras Tour from Canada, which I believe was the last show. So that's going to be out December 12th. Whew. Okay. I was scared it was going to be another album. And I think I said this yesterday. I just don't have the bandwidth for it right now. I just don't have the bandwidth. Please, my God. I forgot to say this when we did the What to Watch this week at the beginning of Monday's episode. I forgot I watched a documentary on Friday night on Amazon Plus. It just came out. It's a documentary about the late great actor John Candy. It's called John Candy, I Like Me. And it is a beautiful documentary. It's directed by Colin Hanks. And I was about to say Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, but I think Colin Hanks now has done such good work that I don't even, it's not even necessary. He has really, I think, stood out and made a pathway for himself in this industry. And this is not his first documentary. He did this great documentary about Tower Records. I'm forgetting what the name of it is, but it was so good. I remember watching it. God, about 8 or 9 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought that was great. And this was great. I think what I didn't expect, though, because John Candy, he's so ever present still in our lives because of all the amazing films he's done. He passed away way too early in 1994, I believe. But think about it. He had the one scene in Home Alone, Uncle Buck, Stripes, SCTV, which was Canada's Saturday Night Live. That's kind of where he came up and where he worked with like Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, and just all of these amazing, amazing actors and comedians. But he really had this amazing gentleness about him, but he was also just so hysterically funny. And I believe, to this day, I think about John Candy all the time. What I wasn't prepared for with this documentary was just how overwhelmingly sad it was, because his son and his daughter and his wife is they're in it. I mean, amazing talking heads in this, from Bill Murray to Steve Martin. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Come on, just what an amazing film that was. And if there's a great documentary about Steve Martin, a 2-part documentary on Apple TV Plus called Steve! That came out last year. And there's a section where he does talk about John Candy in his documentary. And he has to stop himself from tearing up because he just had such a good feeling from this man, and you could tell he missed him. And I thought that was so touching. And I think when somebody brings you so much laughter and so much joy, there's this overwhelming sadness, right? There's this overwhelming sadness. And I was watching this documentary, and it was like an hour and 45 minutes. And but it was so well done. I recommend it, but you got to be in the right headspace. Like, if you're already sad, do not watch this. Do not watch it, because it's just kind of this sad, gone too soon memories of this man's life. And, but at the same time, nobody could say a bad thing about John Candy. That's what you walked away from as well, and how much he meant to everybody in his life. And I thought it was just so beautiful, but it was so well done. I'm really impressed with documentaries these days where there's no frills. They just tell the story. And, there's all different kinds of documentaries now, and some use a lot of tricks and some use reenactments. And this was just really a well told story about John Candy's short life. But I watched that and I forgot to recommend that to you guys. So I wanted to recommend that. Okay, let's see what's going on in the news. We're going to get to Sarah in just one second, but this happened just today. We talked about Hilaria Baldwin and how she was voted off Dancing with the Stars last week, and she is not taking it well. And she said she was bullied off of the show, and it seems like she crashed out this last week and was doing multiple interviews and Instagrams and all of this stuff, which you kind of feel bad for. But like I said with Sophie yesterday, if she would just accept that she really, was kind of faking certain aspects of how she was living her life, I think people would be so much more forgiving of her because she's a good dancer, right? Anywho, maybe to take the pressure off Hilaria, Alec Baldwin, very noble of him, got into a car accident today, which made the news. And his brother, Stephen Baldwin, was with him too. He crashed into a tree. He took to his Instagram to say that he was driving his wife, Hilaria Baldwin's Range Rover, with Stephen as his passenger, and it caused severe damage to the vehicle because it slammed right into this huge tree. He said, "This morning I was in a car accident. Guy cut me off in front of a big garbage truck the size of a whale," he said. "To avoid hitting him, I hit a tree. I hit a big, fat tree." So this statement is very interesting because it's size. It's like a big whale, and then he says a big, fat tree. His brother and him were both fine. They spent the weekend in Long Island, and this happened today on Monday on the Montauk Highway in treacherous weather conditions, the New York Post reported. He said, "It crushed my car, my wife's car. I feel bad about that. It's all fine. I'm fine. My brother's fine." So Hilaria lost Dancing with the Stars and lost her car all in 1 week, but we are glad they are safe. Also, did you see this? This Katy Perry, Justin Trudeau, the former Prime Minister of Canada, right? They're all hot and heavy right now, making out over the weekend on, I think, a boat or a yacht or something. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Okay. Is anybody excited about this? I feel like it's like an older version of of Scooter Braun and Sydney Sweeney, because the reports that we're getting, from the tabloids are saying that Justin Trudeau just went after her like nobody's business. And that's what you hear about Scooter Braun was going after Sydney Sweeney. I don't know. I don't know if I care about either of these couples. I mean, as long as they're happy, that's great. If they're doing this for attention, here is your attention. You made it onto a podcast. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to Dr. Wendy, who I talk a little bit about with Sarah Heron, our guest today. Well, we had not really any updates from Dr. Wendy or Eddie today, but these were kind of interesting in terms of social media, people that have talked about it online, which, is always interesting in its own way. We had, Katie Ross. Katie Ross was a cast member on Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't know why I'm laughing. She's had a lot of problems, self-admitted problems. She's talked about being manic before. She has had some drug and alcohol issues in the past, which she has admitted to. There, a lot of issues with Katie that she said she has been working on. So on Friday, when all of this news dropped, she put this on Instagram. She wrote, "Wendy, I got a message from someone who asked me to make a statement. I know this is all bullshit. I am going to send a letter to the president. Keep your head up, heart emoji, sending love." The "I am going to send a letter to the president," amazing touch by Katie. And then Katie last night on Twitter went even harder on Twitter. There was the scene on Real Housewives of Potomac last night where Mama Sheila, Karen Huger's friend, was on the episode. And there was a picture of them on Twitter, Ashley and Sheila. And Katie retweeted this with the comment, "Ashley and I, heart emoji, love each other. There is no beef, but she has no couth. I gotta throw a flag. My magical vagina that she told details about. She told Andy Cohen I have a hamster pussy on national TV. She ate it, so I guess she would know. She is just a hater. And then in all capitals, we love you, Wendy. So this whole message was about her and Ashley doing a little bit of a Julia Adriana from Miami vibe. And then at the very end, she throws in, we love you, Wendy. I hope Katy Ross is okay. It seems like she is potentially going through something. So we wish her the best. Also, in terms of wife swap, we still do not have word if they are going to yank this episode of Wife Swap that was supposed to premiere tonight. It's now going to premiere next Tuesday, and they have the Angie K episode. That's what it says is going to be premiering. So hopefully we will get that Dr. Wendy episode. But the wife that she swapped with, this lady's name is Alethea Shapiro, and she put on Threads the other day on Friday. She has a photo of her being shocked, and it says, just got the call. Our Bravo wife swap show is postponed until further notice. And in the thread, she wrote, I just got the call that our Bravo wife swap show with Wendy is postponed for now. No further info on the new date, possibly October 21st. I have no other info or comments to share as I learned about the news with everyone else. I'm truly shocked and saddened about the news and thinking of the entire Osefo family, which I only have the fondest feelings for, especially their 3 extraordinary, beautiful children that I have the honor of spending quality time with and getting to know intimately. 3 heart emojis. Also, Andy Cohen on his radio show on Sirius XM, he was talking about it today very briefly, just said he was shocked and saddened to hear the news and that he loves Wendy. He's a big Wendy fan. She leads with education. She leads with wisdom and knowledge, and he hopes that this is, there is some explanation for this. It was very brief, his comments, but just basically saying, I know what you all know. I'm sure he knows a little bit more, but that's what he said on his Radio Andy show today. And that is it for today, folks. I'm telling you, this is a great conversation. I hope you love it as much as I did. We talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We talk about Taylor Swift's news. We talk about all the Bravo, all the pop culture, and Sarah is just one of the best. I've talked to her so many times over the years. We talk about BravoCon. We talk about Bravo's new shoe line with Reebok, all of it. So I hope you love this interview and come back on Wednesday for an all new episode. Bye.